It's gonna be called March, but spelled Martch.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
So I do a creative endeavor for 31 days of my own volition. Is that the right word to use there?
Yeah, of my own volition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Like, it's
the
your
right way
choice
yeah,
and your
exactly.
not
Yeah.
your responsibility,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I draw to the beat of my own drum, so to speak.
I like the lighting in here tonight.
It's pretty moody.
It's very moody. It is October 7th, 2019. This is Atlanta United FC Weekly, a Home Before Dark podcast. Yeah, you gotta take the fingers out of the holes whenever you do that.
That goes against everything I believe in. Sorry.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry we are late. I had to fix me a nice mocktail so we can celebrate tonight.
Yes. Cheers, sir. Cheers.
We just clinched our third straight playoff berth. And guess what? Guess who still has not? Orlando City.
But Jock's out.
Jock's out. James O'Connor.
That's how I like to live my life. Jock's out.
When in doubt, Jock out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I am Tim Herb. As always, I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Mr. Kevin Bradley, the bearded one, drinking Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
Really taking a step. You were in a really good mood to drink shit bourbon, huh?
You're such a oh man.
We have some familiar names in the trap. We're very happy.
You know why
to
we're
see
really
you guys.
late is because we got wrapped up with that cheese at Pizza Hut pizza.
Okay, guys. Yes, Kevin surprised me. Kevin brings over a. I was literally within minutes of telling Angie, I was like, "Don't let me eat anything the rest of the night."
You're welcome.
I was like, I gotta shed a few lbs. I gotta get in shape at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kevin waltzes in. He's got his art book and he's got a Cheez-It logo on a pizza box. And I go, yes, I need this. And we split it.
Yeah.
And hashtag content will be up later.
Yeah, got some good picks.
It was not bad. I like how our buddy Casey, Mighty Casey, put it in perspective the other day when he got it. He said it was fucking terrible, but it was also exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, I think that's the mindset you have to have every time you get Pizza Hut, right?
Yeah,
it's like I want terrible.
Yeah. Good to see the majority of you who are normally in the trap with us, Domer, Joe Johnstone, who we saw both of you guys yesterday. It was fantastic. Stephen Perales.
Where'd you get this?
I don't think that we've seen you in the trap. Thank you for joining us. It finally has made it early enough to watch from the beginning. Brandon Scott. I feel like that's a name I haven't seen in forever. Parker McGlone, Michelle, Robert Swick, the Swickster's back. Coach Steve. You're not late, Coach Steve. We're late.
Where did you get this?
We got that out at Candler Park while my lovely wife was slinging the goods out at the Candler Park Fall Festival in Atlanta United. Somebody left one in our booth on Saturday.
That's awesome.
And then on Sunday, so Atlanta United was out there.
Yeah.
And their brand ambassadors were walking by when we were setting up, and Angie and I were
still talking about DeBoer out.
It was the same guy.
How much he hates Breck Shea.
Yeah, so he walks by, which I don't harbor any animus about anybody as long as they're not still going with the Frank DeBoer out train. But anyway, he walks by in the morning. Angie and I are both setting up, and we both got our Atlanta United jerseys. It's game day. I'm going to the game. And he notices us, and then before setup's over, he comes in and he runs and gives us both of them. Gives both of us one of those flags.
That's awesome. Speaking of wearing the New Jersey for game day, shouts out to our boy Grego and For the Culture.
Yeah, FTC UTD on all the platforms. Go check them out. Fantastic podcast, fantastic content, just fantastic fellas.
Boom. That's all I gotta say. Go check out Home Before Dark, Guts Before Spelled being the number 4 on Instagram for a fucking great video that Greg took yesterday out in the Gulch.
It was great. It was great being out in the Gulch. Saw Sean Mack immediately whenever we got out there. Christian Mills, I think. Craig
gives the best hugs. Man.
He lifted. Not a man in my life has ever lifted me onto their shoulders and fireman carried me. He did that.
Man,
he did that for me.
He's a man of the people.
He is a man of the people. He gave the people what they wanted.
Saw Craig, saw Domer, saw
the Palacios brothers. Congratulations to Danny Palacios and Miriam having a child on the way. And then who else do we see? Some
one of my highlights from
Brian, of course.
One of my highlights from yesterday, Joe Johnson, obviously, great picture with him in the atrium. But one of my favorite highlights of yesterday, one of my favorite engagements yesterday was with Danny. Well, we've avoided the whole topic of discussion, but this was the best way to address it, which was Danny was asking where my seats were. And I said, I sit with all the Nazis. He looks at me and goes, that explains a lot. Talking about my hair being shaved. Oh, man. Pretty great. Pretty great. Love those guys. So, saw a lot of really great people. Saw Michelle. I don't think you caught her.
I did not catch Michelle. And Michelle, you didn't show up at Candler.
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed.
So, yeah, it was a great day.
It was a good week.
Saw Austin.
It's a good weekend.
Yeah. Everybody. So anyway, lead up to the match was great. Best weather for a tailgate I think we've had all season.
Oh, for sure. I'm going to be honest. Greg, I didn't see you out there. I did see you the night before, though.
I saw you, Greg.
I know. I didn't see you, Greg. I didn't see Greg. I saw him the night before, though. I'll tell you.
Greg big times me every time I see him out there. That dude gets so much love. He's always slapping hands with everybody. You can't talk to him for more than 30 seconds without somebody else having way more street credibility than you do coming in and jockeying for position. I had the name set on, though, so I should have gotten priority. Didn't change anything. He got his video. He used me. He got his video. That's all he wanted.
As the kids say nowadays, that name set slaps. It slaps. It slaps.
It did.
Is it? Do you pluralize?
I'm afraid to wash it.
Yeah, don't wash. At least don't dry it.
Yeah,
because for sure it'll squish up in the back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hand wash it. I'm gonna hand wash it. Oh. Yes, Greg. I was just talking about that. The video's up on our Instagram story. Made sure we tagged you guys in it.
Greg was down at field level yesterday.
Oh,
yeah.
That's fancy.
He's down there getting real fancy. He's on field level, not like field level club, but like in the tunnel.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh, he was like holding Joseph's hand, carrying the flag out in the game. Like,
yeah. So like he switched places with Joseph. Joseph was a little kid. Because get it, Greg's 8 feet tall.
Yeah. Oh, I got it. Arby's is great, says Elliot Bevan. Apparently, we all know that Game Changer has done a riff on the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. It's called the Closed on Sunday chicken sandwich. I'm a big fan. I know you're not because of the
mayonnaise,
the mayo-based sauce that's on there. I'm really a big fan of it. I think it's a little overpriced, but I think it's really good. They also apparently are our food correspondent. We've got our traveling correspondent with Kevin Brown. Saw Kevin Brown out there.
Oh, yeah. We had a full reunion of our station soccer team.
That's right. We did. Yeah. Saw Annabelle and Kelly. Yeah.
Brought our really good friend Christian Mendonça to the game with me.
So Kevin's our traveling correspondent. Joe is our
food correspondent.
Our food correspondent is doing some in-depth coverage on the Arby's riff that the Game Changer is doing.
Yeah, how in depth is 2-word review? It's terrible.
I don't know. Ask some of the people that have reviewed this show on iTunes.
And this is your reminder that if you're listening to us on iTunes, make sure that you leave a rating and or review. We will read it live on the show, no matter what it says. No matter what it says. But I told Joe yesterday, he said they do like a shaved brisket. I said, give me roast beef ribbon or give me death.
Well, good luck now because you got a cortisone shot today.
Yeah. So this is the way that I do my roast beef too. It's like Arby's. So you get the potato spiralizer, and then you put a round roast.
I do that with hot dogs.
Yeah, and you spiralize it. Yeah. You know what I do with hot dogs? Since I do the
I do the hot dogs. Sorry, I thought it was a different thing. Yeah, no, I do it with the zoodler. That's what I thought you were talking about. Yeah, just run a hot dog through a zoodler. So you just get hot dog strands, just crisp them up. You get more surface area, so you can fry them up real good. It's like potato straws, but it's hot dog flavored.
Yeah,
get those burn ends on them.
I
want a burn end sandwich, like a brisket sandwich,
but hot dogs,
crispy hot dog meat.
Somebody make that happen.
But put egg and cheese on there. My god,
Buds and Burgers has got to make that happen.
Great,
dude. Yeah, it was a fantastic game yesterday. The fact that they opened up the roof yesterday was great.
That's right.
They we couldn't have had a better day for it. It started getting a little sweaty for a minute out in the tailgate. Yeah. And then you get into the stadium and it was so good. And then the breeze just coming down. It was a wonderful
It was a
day.
great way to end the season. I can't imagine a better result, a better way to end the season. For the first time in months, Atlanta United's got a fully healthy lineup.
Yeah.
And at the best time to have it.
Yes.
Any surprise to see Joseph starting?
Yeah. Actually, I don't know.
They left it up to him from what they said. Joseph will decide if he starts or plays against New England. So he decided to play, you know?
Yeah, I remember seeing, I think Josh Bagriansky had posted, he's like, this is a really bad call for DeBoer to let him make the call because Joseph doesn't play or whatever. If Joseph plays and gets hurt, he looks like a weak manager letting a player decide whether or not he plays and all that sort of. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, and
the Michael Parkhurst chant at the end.
Yes, that was great. That was really.
I mean, it
great.
went on for 5 minutes.
That was the longest chant I've ever heard. So Stephen Perales, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, is asking if we're going to repeat our starting 11
for playoffs
on the 19th at home against New England yet again.
Right?
Actually, I don't have kick.
I'm pretty sure it's at 3:00. You know,
they did release. They sent us an email today.
I think you almost have to. If you got the result that you wanted,
3 p.m.
You got the result that you wanted with very little threat of it not being that way over most of the game. I think Atlanta got a little flat towards the end of the first half, but overall, that game never really seemed like it was out of reach.
I like what Brittany's saying that Petey should have started, but I don't know where. This is the dilemma for me. This lineup has the midfield that I desire.
Yeah.
Having Jeff Lorenowitz, who I was talking to our buddy Larry Luke, who does Solid and Stripes.
Him out there and Chris.
Yeah. I didn't see Chris. Chris left by the time he was
Elder Tree had their tailgate. Damn, it's just such a great day.
Saw Trinidad for the first time in a year.
His baby.
Go
support those guys over at Elder
Baby's
Tree.
crying.
It's awesome.
Wolverine himself.
Oh my God.
So I was talking to Larry Luke, and I was like, "Do you think?" Because it was emotional with Parkey yesterday, even though it's not technically going to be his last game in an Atlanta United uniform. But when we were talking, it's like, "Do you think Lorenowitz is going to retire?" And I think he's got another year in him. I honestly think he could have played all.
I think he'll do the Parkhurst treatment next season.
I think he could have played all 34 games.
I think
this
he
year.
could have too.
The guy is fit as fuck. It's ridiculous.
Agreed.
It is absolutely ridiculous how good he is. But having him anchor that midfield and releasing Nagbe and Heineman to pretty much play the same role interchangeably left to right, I think the freedom that it gives the players in front of them is so much better than bringing in Remedi or taking off Heineman to me and putting on Petey. But so that's where I struggle because Gressel played the best game that he's played all year, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday.
Hands down.
Justin Miram maybe is the only guy that you could take out of the lineup to put Petey in, but then you have like a debacle not with formation, but positionally.
No, yeah. You need Miram to anchor that position because Petey's going to try to do a lot of the same stuff that Barco does, but I don't think he has the pace or the gas to do it in the manner that Barco does.
You know what Barco likes to do though is smash that like button.
That's right. That's what he told me.
Yeah. Hashtag Barco says smash like.
The problem was he was smashing the like button on too many other people's Instagram photos. And it led to a whole other thing.
I heard he was subscribed to Mouse of the South, and I think that was the whole.
That's exactly.
I think that's what went down.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
It wasn't Vasquez's girlfriend. It was really Eric Quintana. We all know what really happened.
Yeah. Blame it. Hashtag blame Eric.
Hashtag blame Eric.
Who are you going to record with while I'm gone?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, I'll ask her. I'll ask our house sitter just to. I won't tell her that anybody's coming over, and then you just show
come in
up
and do the key number. Just put her in a state of panic.
Yeah,
it'd be great. Yeah, maybe Greg, maybe Joe. Maybe I'll do a road. Maybe I'll just get a full Last Supper in here. Just get the full table. Just pass the mic around. It'd be great. And Domer, I like that.
It depends. We might have to go mobile rig with it. I don't know because we do have house sitters coming for the 11 days. Yeah,
we'll deal with it.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna miss the first round of the playoffs. Angie and I scheduled a national park trip. I don't know, like 6-9 months ago at this point, and It just so happens
that it was on my birthday.
Yes, that's what it is.
My birthday's already come and gone. It's back again, and you're leaving again.
Yeah,
I get it.
It's your quarter birthday. It's your quarter birthday.
I'm 31 and a quarter.
31. I'm glad to Michelle. So Michelle's going back off to the UK. I say back off to the UK. I don't even know if you're going back home or if you're going to go for leisure somewhere else other than, because the UK is a fairly large area.
Greg's mentioning Domer's new name set. More so than the name set, did you see that the Footy Mob kits were out in full force yesterday? The new kits that they got, those things are awesome. We got to get the Home Before Dark kit next year.
Who were we with?
We did the scarf this year. We got to do the kit.
Who were we with yesterday? I was rocking one. Oh, Joe Johnstone.
Yeah,
he's wearing one.
That's right.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Domer's hair feathered and lethal yesterday.
Oh yeah, he can't grow it back out anymore.
No,
just gotta keep it.
I got to get that on my head.
Yeah, I just need to get hair on my head.
Yeah, that's true. We do need to do that.
All right, so starting lineup. We talked about Joseph.
Hey, yo. I'm just glad. So Greg came over on Saturday night after he's a big Florida fan. I'm an Auburn fan. I don't know. I cheer for Auburn because my brother went there, and I went to Francis Marion University, small school that doesn't have football, and it's very, very glad for him. But
why does it sound so hard for you to say that? Like you're choking back tears.
I'm just happy he showed up in a Boca jersey and not Gators apparel.
That would have been really great.
He would have been turned away.
Would have been really great if he did. I wish. That's a good point though. Do colleges? I haven't ever seen any collegiate jerseys other than football. Maybe baseball, but like soccer kids
to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that would be really cool.
I mean, the soccer stadiums are usually pretty empty for those games.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think they're not really money makers.
No.
I mean, we pretty much played on a practice field. We had a D1 women's team, and I guess our men's team was D2. But yeah, and Greg saying college basketball jerseys are so few nowadays. It's true.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know. Maybe we'll see more support as like the NCAA rule doesn't. I think it's going to spread from California. I think a couple different states are.
So what is that
considering
exactly?
It, where players can make money off of their likeness.
Oh, because they're doing their NCAA football's coming back, right?
I don't think it is.
It's going to now.
Well, in California, in California, they're going to release it just in California.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't. But as California goes, in a lot of ways, the country goes in terms of legislation, whatever. I think as you see that to start to spread out, I think you'll probably see a lot more apparel.
Yeah. You think for other collegiate teams other than just football?
I don't know.
That's ultimately what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see, I mean, because you still see collegiate jersey, like football jerseys, but it's the basketball and soccer specifically that.
But how many, like, I don't want to get off on a tangent. I just want to ask your opinion on that. Like, how much of a recruiting edge is that going to give the likes of USC, Cal, UCLA, Stanford?
Oh, absolutely. That's a game changer.
San Diego State. I mean, all of those kids, especially the kids that, oh man, yeah, the kids that struggle for financial reasons at schools.
So I had a theory about this.
And end up with Coach Brown on.
I had a theory about this recently, which was, I mean, the universities make money off of broadcasting, right?
Yes.
Sports broadcasting. And I assume that games that are aired in prime time get more revenue back to the schools than games that are
That's why you don't assume.
It's not
because
right.
You make an ass.
Is it all universal?
Out of yourself.
Is it the same all the way?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just wanted to say
that logic would stand to reason to be the case, right? Like games in prime
I think
time.
so. The 3:30 or the 3:30 game on CBS is going to make you more money than that 12 p.m. game on ESPN2.
But really, it's the 7 o'clock game on CBS or ABC that makes the most money. Now, think about the teams that are typically playing in that game. Are teams that are really successful, at least right now, are mostly Eastern Coast based teams because they get a little bit of hierarchy and playing at that time versus playing at, noon out on West Coast or, whatever, even 10 o'clock games. That's their prime time. So I think that some of that revenue for TV and marketing also goes into the success of some of these school programs. Just a theory that I'm throwing out there. It'll be interesting to see if the likeness stuff starts to change the tide of that a little bit more. No pun intended. Suck it.
Yeah.
But I hadn't thought about that until recently.
Yeah. Back to the game yesterday.
Lineup.
Yes. So Steven Perales, I believe I got the name right, asking if the lineup stays the same from yesterday, which saw, let me see if I can recall it from memory. Alec Can, Kevin Kratz, Mikey Ambrose.
Are you talking about whenever we were playing FIFA?
That mirror match.
Those are the best lineups.
The mirror match.
It's like I'm starting Can. I got George Bello in there.
So we had Guzan, Miles Robinson, LGP, Escobar, and then Pogba came on later, right? Yeah. So Lorenowitz, Nagby, Heinemann, Gressel, Miram, Barco, and Joseph. Do you think we see that same lineup on the 19th without Pity Martinez? And what does Pity Martinez do to get back to that discussion about what that shuffle entails whenever he does come back into the lineup? Because ultimately,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And you are playing the exact same team in the exact same stadium at the exact same time.
So Domer says I may bring in Petey for Heinemann as the only change.
Maybe in second half, but not to start.
Yeah, what's struggle, like Joe Johnson saying, depends on how defensive you want to be.
Offensive you want to be.
Oh, he says offensive. Sorry.
Yeah, because you're not going to be any more defensive with PG in there.
No, with Heinemann though, you do get a more box-to-box player, and then
what was interesting was to see how high New England was pressing, and they
did the entire game, like the entire beginning of the game, they were, but
they were overly aggressive.
That goal we gave up was pretty unfortunate, but it's a result of the high press. I mean, they see what has been happening with LGP the past couple of weeks, and I think that they were exploiting that. I mean, he had a couple bad whiffs on tackles.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Yeah, Brian is saying New England is consistently pressed high. Yeah, I mean, they have the team for it, and they're a good team. I mean, we talked about that before. I mean, Bruce Arena's obviously come in and put his identity or put his stamp onto the team, or at least put a cohesive unit out onto the field, and shown just how inept Brad Friedel was as a manager. But I mean, we were able to shut down a lot of what they were doing yesterday. They have good players in good spots.
You called 3-1, didn't you? Because I said 2-1. I'm pretty sure you said 3-1. It
was either that or 3-0. I might have called it 3-0. But
I said 2-1.
We need to break out the vault note cards at some point.
Oh, do you know where they are?
They're somewhere in that closet, though. I don't know.
Is there anything in there I shouldn't see?
A lot of stuff.
Yeah?
Don't do that.
People?
Just tentacles come rushing out.
Hands. As a body just falls. It's Dan. Like, that would be the best setup for the return of Dan, is we go the entire, not even mention it or anything, and then just completely just falls out of the fucking closet. Maybe Dan will come back for playoffs. Maybe then he'll find it worth his time.
Dirty Bird Person.
That's who I'll try to record with whenever you're gone.
Dirty Bird Person kind of echoed what you were saying about the PD situation. So PD's just so often bad after 50 minutes. I'd almost rather sub in. Almost rather he'd sub in, and which is exactly what you were saying, and bringing him in. Tito looked lost on the field again. He had a couple good.
So did Escobar for a good part.
Spots. That 5 center back lineup at the end was pretty stout.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we legitimately had Pogba, LGP, Parkhurst, Escobar, and Miles Robinson all in the game at one time.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you trade
out a moat around goal. Those are the alligators in our 18-yard box moat.
You traded Miram for LGP, or not LGP. Sorry, you traded Miram for Pogba, right? I'm trying to remember the substitutions correctly, but you end up with that crazy 5.
Yeah. Tito, Pogba, and Parkhurst were the 3.
Yes. Yep. Parkhurst came on for Gressel. Barco, no, who came off? It was Miram and
Hyndman?
I don't think they took Hyndman off for Tito, did they? I can't remember. Yeah.
No, I don't know. Brittany S doesn't know either.
But Joe,
they take off for Tito.
Yeah, Joe Johnstone's correct. He said not as sexy as Frank de Boer.
Not even close.
Yeah, it was Barco that came off.
Okay.
It was Barco and Miram that came off at the same time.
Lineup. I think if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's tough, dude.
Why? Because then you're just gonna be if it doesn't work out.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
That's all you're gonna hear. You have no reason to think that it. What's the up? Let me pose it a different way. What's the upside of changing the lineup? Do you really think that Pity Martinez, from everything we've seen this season, puts you in a position to win 4-0, 5-1, 4-1 even? Do you think that Pity Martinez gives you one more goal and you still end up winning by multiple? Is it that worth it? To me, the exposure with Pity on the field versus what you get out of the lineup that you had yesterday that was proven successful. I don't see the reasoning behind that. Again, if it was a different team, it'd be a different conversation. Yeah. But against the exact same fucking team 2 weeks after the fact, I don't know why you would do that.
Yeah, I don't know either. But it's tough, though, because he's one of our best players.
Absolutely. And I think he will have a huge role to play in the playoffs. But the first round against the team that you just had that amount of success with, I don't know why you need to change it.
Brandon Scott, I don't think you're in the minority, and I don't know, you'll tick some people off, and most of them are the Parceros, because we know that Danny and Anibal and Ronald, they're all like diehard. Actually, I don't know if Ronald is. At least Danny and Anibal are huge PD stands, but Brandon Scott saying might tick off some people, but I really didn't miss PD. Just saying. Yes, and hats off to Anibal's name set yesterday. That thing was stellar. And I can't believe I'd never met Ronald before yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, I never have.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Ronald Pena. Yeah, those guys, they all do Siempre United together now. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, it's Parceros United now.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, the podcast is still Siempre United.
I think they have a spinoff show called Parceros United.
Do they?
I thought so.
And I'm so far behind. I want to listen to I don't understand enough Spanish. I gotta
crack.
Un crack, yeah. Un crack.
I haven't seen those guys in a minute though.
Yeah, Luis and Michael and Eric. Yeah, I haven't seen them.
Every time I see Eric, he's just on Snapchat singing to himself.
Every time I see Luis, he's like, Tim, I haven't seen you in 6 months. It's like I'm gonna count now, and then 6 months later, I'll see you again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's see.
So lineup, I don't think you change it. You think you change it? Last chance. 1, 2, 3, go.
I would not change it. I think it's going to change.
Fair enough. Let's move into
I think you cause kind of a rift if yesterday wasn't just rest for PD.
That's a point. All right. Oh yeah, especially considering all the antics off the field throughout this season. I think you open up the door to speculation at that point. If he's not starting in a playoff game, well, why isn't Pity starting? He's on the bench for 2 games. Clearly there must be another problem in the locker room. He wants to go. I heard he's going back to River Plate in the offseason. He doesn't want to be there. Frank de Boer's lost the locker room. De Boer out. Can we talk about how awesome it is that Atlanta United ends this regular season in the exact same position that they did in their MLS Cup winning season?
Yeah.
That is fucking awesome.
Yeah. That is pretty crazy that we're second. We have at least 1, if not 2, home playoff games.
Speaking of which, Christian Mills, I owe you a
away days kit.
Away days kit. I'm a man of my word. You nailed it, man. Well done.
Yeah. I liked Christian Mendonça, who was with me at the game yesterday. He's a big Red Bulls fan. And he's like, because they lost 3-0 to Montreal. And he's like, well, Atlanta United last game of last season lost 4-0 to a Canadian team. Maybe this is a good omen. Maybe this is actually gonna work out. It's crazy. Like we'll get into it later, but the shift that happened in the East yesterday was pretty nuts.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool to watch.
Yeah.
But it was only cool to watch because we stayed in that second place position and we didn't have to worry about any of that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, Michelle asking, can you imagine the FDB out crazies if we win the treble? And as the great fisticuffs once said, put some treble in it.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, it's tough for me to think about. Do you think, if you had to guess, just be completely honest, you think Atlanta United wins the cup this year?
Yes.
Really?
I do.
Really?
I do.
Tim?
I do.
Really?
I do.
Finally, I've been waiting for you to say those words for so long. I'm just gonna clip that. Do you?
Oh God. Yes, as Grego says, DC United had a 2-man advantage on Cincy, 33 shots, and drew 0-0.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Who do you think we end up playing in the final? You think it's still going to be LAFC?
Nope. I don't. I think the likes of Seattle.
I think we make it to the conference final. We'll get knocked out by NYC. That's my bet.
No. Because NYC will play the winner of, because they don't reseed the playoffs. So even like if we were to lose to New England and then Philly wins.
No, they would still play the winner between.
Right.
Yeah.
They would still play the winner between
DC and
Rebels.
Red Bulls, yeah, that's right.
Right. They wouldn't play the 7 seed. They wouldn't play, they wouldn't play the 7 seed in New England. Even if New England beat us, they don't reseed the playoffs.
No, Red Bulls are 6th.
Yeah.
They play.
You're right. Philly. They play Philly.
Yeah.
And then Toronto plays DC. Or no, did Toronto end up in 3rd? Damn it. DC and Toronto.
DC and Toronto.
DC
Whoever
and Toronto.
the winner is between DC and Toronto is who NYC would have to play. And I don't see NYC getting knocked out by either one of those teams right now.
You don't?
No.
Even if they have to go and play at Citi Field, a field that they've never played at?
Why would they go play at Citi Field? They have a higher ranking. They would automatically be at home.
Right. They're home because the Yankees are going to destroy everybody in the baseball playoffs.
That's right.
They don't get to play at the Met Stadium. They have to go play at Citi.
Right. I forgot all about that shit. Thank you, Tim. This is why we do a podcast.
Yes.
I'm so glad we're discussing this because
I really do
forgot all about that.
I really do like our chances.
Yeah. For those that don't know, why don't you explain the situation that we just kind of glossed over there?
Okay. So there's this group of oil sheiks who utilize both slave labor and will commit human atrocities, human rights violations, and they own Manchester City and the city.
Oh my God!
And they've never been able to get.
Was this on that DVD that Longshore still got here?
And they've never been able to get a stadium, a specific stadium inside of New York, because they will not settle outside the 5 boroughs. I'm just joking around, but I mean. That part is legitimate. Everything that I said is legitimate there. But
always is.
In terms of what's going on, the Yankees have priority at Yankee Stadium. Yeah, I mean, even what Greg's saying. So obviously NYCFC shares a stadium with the Yankees, and the playoff dates are going to conflict with the Yankees' playoff dates. And do you think the Steinbrenners are going to give way?
Yeah,
they're not. Do you think New York really cares about New York City FC?
It really
when
sucks.
It comes to when the Pinstripes are playing in October. No, it doesn't matter.
It sucks for the fan base, and a lot of Atlanta fans know what that feels like. I don't know if you guys know how big monster truck jams are in this city, but we're all familiar with that. We know what that's
Grave digger.
We all know what. We all know we.
You remember when they used to have like WCW wrapped cars, like that? Hulk Hogan would go up against Grave Digger.
I'm still waiting.
Monster Jam.
I'm still waiting for the wrestling to come to Atlanta so we can get a big group together to go see it.
We've missed it like 3 times in the past 4 months.
Oh, damn.
It's been here. Raw's been here twice, and then SmackDown's been here twice this year. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Danny goes.
Yeah.
All right, we need to plan better.
Yeah.
I forget that shit comes on every night. Every Monday night. Is it still every Monday night for Raw?
Yeah. Yeah. Damn it. Losing my train of thought. Back to the playoff picture.
Oh yeah. So
I like our chances to win another MLS Cup.
Who do you think is going to knock out the two people that I think stand in Atlanta's way the most? LAFC and NYC. Because you're saying it's got to be DC or Toronto to knock NYC out at this point. Who do you think that is of those two?
Oh, I think Toronto could beat NYCFC.
Okay.
I think Toronto's always a dangerous team, especially they seem to be. What is their current form is not bad. I mean, in their past 5, I mean they're 2-1-0.
And you realize that we have to play the winner of Philly or Red Bulls going to that match. 2 teams that we have not beaten this year, including a 10-man Red Bulls team.
Yeah, Red Bulls are a different team right now. They are not at all what they were at the beginning of the season. Philly's, I don't think, been on a good.
Really? Because we just played them a couple of weeks ago.
I know. I understand. We played them up at Talent Energy, and they would come here and play, though.
Yeah.
It would be a completely different environment.
Yeah.
They played us here early on in the season. We gave the game away to them, right? Yeah. We lost 2 points at the end of the game. I think it's a completely different story. The chemistry is completely different now. The lineup that we played yesterday, I think, would suit pretty much playing against anybody at this point. And I like that lineup going into the playoffs and that formation.
Let's scroll through I know the trap's going off here before we get to our thoughts. We owe it to the people here. So,
Domer says, "Don't bash Supercross," and he called us dick nipples.
Oh,
I don't know what that means. Is that like the French fries? The French fry? Never mind. Crinkle cut. Let's see. Joe Johnstone saying Toronto. Domer saying Toronto. Brandon Scott saying Toronto. Greg is saying Toronto is a super wild card in the East because they have the experience. Not just that, they have a hell of a lot of talent on that team. Josie did get injured yesterday whenever he tried to come back. Let's see. Josie's injured, but Toronto can do it. And that's correct.
Open Cup rematch in the MLS Cup final. That's an interesting.
I don't think Minnesota is going to be able to pull it out. I think. So to me, I can see someone or a team like Seattle, who ended up in second yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Was that how it took out?
I don't remember the West.
Yeah, Seattle's in second. So Seattle finished on 56 points, which is the third best record in MLS. Yeah, third best record in MLS.
Oh, LAFC. Vela ends up not just breaking Joseph's record, but
in
putting
emphatic style.
On top
yeah.
of it.
Yeah. Did he have a hat trick yesterday?
Yeah,
I thought he only had the 2.
No, he had a hat trick. It's hard to be mad about that.
No, he definitely.
I'm pretty sure he had a hat trick.
I don't think he scored the third goal. I know he had the 2.
Zlatan had a hat trick yesterday.
No, Zlatan had 1 goal, and Gustavo Pavón had 1.
Okay, so why was I thinking? I guess he did just get the bracelet.
No, Vela had a hat trick. Okay. You're right. Yeah,
how dare you? How dare you, Tim?
First of all, how dare you?
You're not wrong to second guess me in my stats.
But I mean, the way that it's shaking out, I mean, we play New England, Toronto plays DC, Seattle plays Dallas. Dallas, we
lit it up yesterday.
Yeah, we were so. I think everybody was hard on the Matias Almeida San Jose train for a while, and then Dallas usurped them in their playoff hunt. It's crazy. I was not expecting Dallas. Usually, Dallas fades towards the end of the year, and then they were able to sneak into the playoffs. They're playing Seattle.
Is it Almeida that just got picked up by Monterrey?
Is there? I wasn't sure if that was official. I know there were rumors.
Okay, that might be all
I saw headlines that he was considering or Monterrey was coming after him. Yeah. And then RSL plays Portland in RSL, which is another surprise to me that RSL is hosting a playoff game.
Yeah. So anyway, back to what we talked about. Who do you think we end up playing? We already talked about Toronto. And so who do you think we end up playing out of the West?
I think we play Seattle. I think it's either Seattle or LA Galaxy. I
think it's Galaxy of the 2.
For as dominant as LAFC is, I just have this feeling in a single elimination match that they're going to shit the bed. We talked about it. They did come up big yesterday, and I know it sounds weird. They had a surging Colorado team that was still fighting for a 7th place playoff berth yesterday.
LAFC
LAFC played them, and they lost to that same team earlier on in the season, if I'm not mistaken. At home. We talked about that throughout the years. Like LAFC looked in their defense was impregnable. They're going to eat your children. They looked
their
like
cup to lose.
Right. They looked like early 90s Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Like they were just going to dominate the entire league the entire season. I mean, they won the Supporter Shield with the most points ever. Carlos Vela has the most goals ever in a season.
And he's one of the leading assists players in the league too, which is crazy to me.
But I still think from watching them play down to their competition that they have some weaknesses. I think they lost to Portland earlier on in the season, right? 3-0. They lost to Colorado.
I think you're thinking about Galaxy.
Oh, you're right.
Galaxy lost to Portland twice.
They lost two bad. Oh, Minnesota. They lost at home to Minnesota. They lost at home to Colorado. And
Brittany has to say Atlanta versus Galaxy. I like that.
That would be like the biggest final.
And Zlatan doesn't play on turf.
He will.
And we would host if it was them, right?
That would be the highest rated MLS final, I think, in history.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously.
So in the hosting order of teams, I believe Atlanta is third. No, of cup finals.
Oh yeah, you're right. Third. Yeah, behind LAFC and NYCFC.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that'd be pretty great. So we're guaranteed to at least get through. I mean, unless we play NYC in the conference final, if we advance through the first playoff match, we are guaranteed a second at home, which is pretty great.
Yeah.
We know that we're playing New England again, and then we'll play, like I said, the winner of Red Bulls or Philly. I think out of everything that you've said, I want to believe. I tend to maybe agree with you, especially against maybe Toronto, DC, or NYC outside of Yankee Stadium. I think the thing that has me the most nervous is that second round game against Philly or Red Bulls.
Yeah, for sure.
Of those matches, that's the matchup that worries me the most.
That's fair.
And I don't know, I don't feel as confident that Atlanta automatically gets the check in that column.
No. Okay. I think
it could be one that goes to PKs. Maybe we'll have a coach that'll get them to practice that before those games, since it is single match elimination. You think they're going to be practicing PKs at training this week?
They better.
How many games in single elimination are going to come down to PKs? That's a new vault question we need to have.
Oh, that's actually a good question for the trap. So we have 4 first round games. Of those 4 first round games, how many of those are going to go to penalties? I like that question.
I think Atlanta wins outright.
Well, I guess that would have been the same question last year.
Yeah. I think Atlanta wins outright. I think Philly Red Bulls goes to PKs. I think Toronto wins outright. What did you say? Seattle plays
Dallas.
RSL
plays Portland. Philly plays New
RSL
York.
Portland, I think, goes to PKs. And who's Galaxy got?
Minnesota.
I think Galaxy wins that. So I think I end up at 3 in the first round.
Yeah, I think that's probably pretty safe bet. And then you have 4 games in the second round?
Yeah. And of those 4, tough. I don't know. I think Atlanta has to end up with 1. And it would most likely be in the second round. I could see that happening.
How many 0-0 draws did we have this year?
I think there's going to be a lot, man. This first year, it's not about 0-0 draws. It's 1-1 draws. You don't get aggregate goals. You don't get home and away goals. Even if it's a draw,
had
you
4
still go
draws
to PKs.
all season, though.
Yeah, but I think what's going to create more games that are going to go to PKs is the fact that the playoff system has changed. And you're going to see managers reacting to that and puckering, and you're going to see teams. You're going to have the overly aggressive teams. I think are going to be the more successful teams in this playoff system. Teams that can overcome the mental aspect of single elimination playoffs are going to be the most successful. Like that sounds counterintuitive. Like that sounds kind of as a given, but I think that really good teams sometimes fail in a playoff system because they get too in their head about what the consequences are of losing more than they do about what they're capable of to win as they would in a normal playoff position.
I mean, the strategy that you used to have completely goes out the window.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
It is a completely different ball game, and it makes things a lot more interesting. Definitely a lot more, as you say, puckered.
I think you're going to see, and in a way, it's kind of nice because you're going to see some of these lower level. I think some of the underdogs are going to end up really surprising people because of that, because they have more to, like, they have a better shot at it now, I feel like, than they did in years past, where they play the first leg on the road and then they come back home, and more times than not, they're in a pretty bad position to make up for that. So
I'm excited for it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great, but it's gonna be interesting with it being the first year. I'm interested to see what different teams do, tactically to respond to the single elimination format. Okay, what else we got? So we talked about lineup. Any takeaways from the game? What time are we looking at here? We're almost out of time. So any takeaways from that match to take on to the follow-up leg?
I think that if Gressel plays near as well as he did yesterday on the 19th, I think we take that game running. I mean, the goal that he scored was great. His passing is ridiculous. The pass that he's able to find.
What about Nagby Little?
Oh yeah,
like for him to put that on the post like that was just so good.
Yeah. Greg saying if Nagby scores, we win. Just like if James Milner scores, Liverpool wins.
Oh man,
I don't think Liverpool's lost in a game that James Milner scored a goal, and that happened yet again on Saturday.
Oh boy,
yeah.
Oh boy.
What about you?
Yeah, I think you just I think you stay the course. I think that Pity has a place in this lineup, and maybe it's an early substitution if he does start. Like you said, I wouldn't start him, but maybe the front office does. I think he needs to get pulled early if he does start, or come in as I would prefer him not to, and then come in as a very early substitution if we have the game under control.
Well, I mean, that's the other dynamic that the playoffs bring into it is there's a lot more impetus placed on the manager to make
adjustments,
more informed and more cutthroat decisions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just because of the gravity of the situation. And yeah, I could see that happening.
So other than that, though, I mean, having the fact that we get to talk about all three of our DPs potentially playing at the same time is a really exciting prospect.
It is, because it hasn't happened much this year.
It really hasn't. So, but I still think that maybe that needs a little bit more time and training to get all the kinks ironed out. And again, if the game's under control, I think you roll it for a half or so. But to come out that way after coming off the win, I don't know that necessarily gives you the difference. Oh my God, what about Barco's free kick, man? It's 2 weeks in a row.
Yes, the exact same placement. And
2 weeks in a row.
Turner was able to turn that away. That was very, very disappointing.
Brutal.
To see. Yeah, that sucked. That sucked really bad. Barco played well.
Barco played great, I thought.
Yeah, and then Joseph, obviously.
Yeah, so glad to have him back. Have the whole lineup back. I think it's great. This team is coming together at the right time. Everybody being healthy. Yeah, man. It sucks that you're going to miss that first game.
Yeah, we'll be here for the second game.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
We've already had the money deducted from our bank account, I think.
For the second game.
Right, yeah, I think they've already deducted
Did they really?
Yeah, I think so. Or at least it's pending. It's a pending transaction.
Yeah. Well,
you have to opt out of the playoffs if you're a season ticket holder. You have to tell them, I don't want the tickets, otherwise you get charged for them.
Yeah.
But at least they're good about it. It's face value. So I'm not.
That's why I got a credit card.
I'm not worried about it. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's a magical goodies creator.
That's exactly. It's just free money. Free money.
Yeah, we need to pay Gressel. That's for damn sure. Yeah. I don't know if we can. If he's a DP, I don't know if we can afford him. or if he wants that DP money.
That's true. All right, so the season's come to an end, or regular season's come to an end. What have you learned about Atlanta United over the regular season, and what are you still unsure about going into playoffs?
I'm unsure that the back line sans Miles Robinson is going to be consistent. And if you're asking what my worries are that we might not win the MLS Cup, it's the back line outside of Miles Robinson being inconsistent, LGP chasing balls, deflections happening like they did yesterday. Because I have complete faith in our front seven.
Yeah,
if you want to call it that. What about you?
Yeah, I think the defense is the biggest question mark for me, as it has been all season. Whether it was issues over at left back or finding out how to maintain that back line and not become so vulnerable to the long ball through our ranks. If they can maintain hold up play, that's where Atlanta really thrives defensively, because I think that their possession based talent level is some of the best in the league, but that assumes that they have that possession. And so in order to do that defensively, you need to be able to run hold up play and have overlaps defensively. And those have been the weakest moments that I've seen for this team, is where they've not been able to maintain that overlap or maintain that hold up play, and they are susceptible to getting burned. And then it leaves a wide open. I mean, Brad Guzan comes up with one really great save yesterday in a one-on-one at the top of the 18, and he gets a little unlucky in the second one, but that is a direct result of that exact same thing that I'm talking about.
Yeah. So in terms of things to take away from the season, I
or what have you been surprised by that you maybe didn't see happening, or that you were worried about earlier?
What Greg is saying, the season has been a lesson in tactical adjustments. I think that whenever you saw the personalities clashing at the beginning of the year between Frank de Boer and everybody else, I felt like maybe he may stay steadfast in his unwillingness to change up the formation or to change up his tactics. Yeah. And the fact that he's able to do that and adapt and be successful, ultimately be successful, especially off of the expectations of the season we had last year, I think is pretty great. Domer said, we some tough bitches. Yeah. 44 matches this year, man. That's freaking hard. Absolutely. Anybody else? What do you guys have? What did you guys learn from the 2019 season?
What did you learn, and what's your biggest concern going to the playoffs? So you talked about
Nagby as like maybe our most important player.
No, he's gone.
So and I didn't realize that last year. Yeah.
You never know what you got till it's gone.
No. I don't want it to happen.
So yeah.
It's still real to me, damn it.
I learned that this team is going to be okay.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens.
This team is not Tata Martino.
This team doesn't have to be what it was in a MLS Cup running season where they won. Like, if we don't win the Cup this year, I think we have as good a shot as anybody. If we don't win it, that's okay to me. Because I still think that this team is one of the top 4 or 5 teams out of the 32 in the league right now.
No, we don't have 32. We have 24.
That's right.
The goal is 32.
That's right.
That's 30.
That's right. But yeah, I think that this is a top 5 team in the league. And we've got this. What'll be interesting, it's weird to talk about next season, but next season I think is going to be more trying than this season was. This season we lost.
Greg says top 3. Who are the other 2? The 2 LA teams?
NYC, and that's why I'm saying we're a top 5 team. I don't know if we're top 3. We'll find out this playoff run for sure.
I think this is a down year for Atlanta United. I think that's what we can expect.
It's just going to be interesting next year.
In perpetuity.
Next year, I don't know what happens. I really don't. I think we're going to have way more turnover in our ranks going into next season than we did this year.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the coaching staff will maintain, and that's what you ultimately wanted by bringing in more, was to maintain a tactic that could be employed and be plug and play. And I think that Atlanta has managed to find that in a lot of ways. And it's been a what was the whole fucking debate we did? Evolution versus what's the other word?
Adaptation.
Yeah.
Or
no. It was evolution versus like business as usual, basically.
Oh.
Remember we were talking about like, oh, Frank's gonna do the same thing, or is it gonna be an evolution of that, or whatever? I think it became some hybrid of what he wanted to employ with what we already found success in doing last season, which I don't think any of us really saw. And I think that was what made most fans really nervous, was that it did seem so contradictory to what we had found success in last year. You see a little bit of both of those now. Atlanta still is extremely lethal on the counter, but it's not entirely predicated on the counter to find success offensively. So, yeah, looking forward to the offseason. Looking forward to the postseason,
not the offseason.
Yeah, looking forward to the postseason. We'll see. I mean, it's all found money, right?
Yeah, everybody's asking, so Elliot Beaven asked, what player should Atlanta get next year? And Greg and Joe Johnstone, both on the kids bandwagon, and both immediately said Lagos Kunga, hashtag Kunga Squad.
It's true.
How many? I wanted to look up his stats. I wanted to see caps versus goals that he's had.
What's the over/under on if Andrew Carlton gets released in the offseason based on his history with Frank DeBoer and everything else that's happened on this team this year?
I don't think you release him, but he. I don't. Honestly, I think he might have worked his way back into the lineup.
I mean, he's been having some success with the twos. I don't know. We'll see.
Joe Johnston saying Carlton out. I don't agree with that. I think that as long as he puts his head on straight, kid has bags and bags of talent.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. So, what are you looking forward to most on your trip, Tim?
Ooh, Mesa Verde. So Angie and I.
Oh yeah, the green salsa.
Yes,
so good.
It's the green door.
Yeah,
or green table. Mesa's table, right? So Angie and I collect national parks. So we've done 10 so far. And I think it was our first or second big trip. I remember looking at the pictures of Mesa Verde. I was like, oh,
I want
shit.
to go to there.
Yeah. It's like bless you. For anybody who doesn't know, it's like America's Petra. It's like adobe huts that were carved into.
I heard Kanye got those shut down because of building code violations.
What? I don't understand that reference.
Really?
Yeah.
Kanye made a bunch of domes, like little huts. That was supposed to be like assisted living. They didn't meet building code. City official came out and bulldozed all of them.
Oh,
Greg will get it.
Yeah. I don't follow that stuff. It's your two favorite things, Kanye and architecture.
Yeah.
Probably Mesa Verde, or sandboarding in the Great Sand Dunes.
That'd be great. Oh,
I'm not gonna try and sandboard. I say that, but I'm gonna do the sled.
On sand.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna do the sled.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, or staying. I mean, we get to Denver, and then we go up to Estes Park, and we're staying in some cabins in a place called McGregor Lodge that Angie's great grandpa built.
That is really awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like his pictures are all over the place. Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah,
nice, man. I'm excited for you guys. That'd be a good trip.
What are you looking forward to while I'm out?
Inktober, got a lot of fun things going on. You can follow along at The Architect on Instagram, _ARC, number 1 TECT. Been a lot of fun doing a different drawing every day. I am committed to doing the full 31 days. I came up just short last year. I got 21 or 22 last year.
Sorry, that's not just short.
I got 2/3.
10 short.
2/3.
Yeah,
it was pretty close. Right. Pretty close. Looking forward to some more carvings from you, sir.
Got that guy?
Fun.
Well, Georgia. Well, Georgia on my mind.
Should be fun, man. I'm excited you're getting into all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm ready for you to have his and her booth at the next festivals next year. Between the two of you.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Joe Johnson's asking when we're going to Arby's. We legitimately need to book that one day.
Yes. If we make it to the second
Mountain.
If we make it to the second round, we'll do it as a group. But Joe, I'll plan a meet and greet for those of you that are going to do the first round. Tim won't be in attendance, so I'm sure less of you will come out, but I will try to figure something out and we'll do something. Maybe because there's we've already talked about this, right? There's the Arby's over the CNN Center, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we can do a CNN Center.
But does CNN Center is that like a full Arby's?
I don't know.
Do they have? Is it like an Arby's Express in the airport?
I'll have to do some.
Do they have Meat Mountain there?
I'll have to do some recon and find out.
Do they have Cheez-It pizza?
No one should have Cheez-It pizza.
Yeah, they should.
Ugh.
They legitimately is like they took a Cheez-It, put it in Photoshop, and expanded it. Like the salt chunks on it got bigger, just like they were to scale. That was the weirdest thing looking at that. That and just like the oddly specific Pizza Hut cheese, stuffed crust cheese.
Oh yeah.
I could have eaten that blindfolded and knew that it came from Pizza Hut.
Pretty good.
Yeah. It was great.
I liked it. No, Popeyes is not restocked yet.
I don't think it's coming back, is it?
It's going to come back, but it's not restocked.
It's a bunch of bullshit. Once that comes back, I don't know what. Greg, let's talk offline because the three of us can converge on one in between us, most likely.
Yeah, I like that.
That could be a thing.
I like that for the content.
Dude, God,
Popeyes,
even when it's bad, it's so good.
Can we do that? Can we do that, Greg? Can we just get a Home Before Dark? Like, we always have you in the studio, but we need to get everybody together from both shows.
Yeah.
And go to Popeyes and just hang out.
Home Before the Culture.
Yeah.
Make that happen.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, they absolutely need to grow new chickens. That's bullshit. 100%. Like, I haven't had a chance to try the damn chicken sandwich.
100%. Yeah.
100 P. As the kids now say.
Please don't do that.
As the little kids now say.
Please don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Does your nephew say that?
Oh, I'm sure. He also says yeet all the time.
Oh my God.
My 12-year-old or 13-year-old nephew.
What other words have you heard come down the line? Yeet.
Like here. Oh,
that's great.
Oh God.
That's when I see it. I always see it, but I never say it out loud.
I haven't heard no cap. No, Brian's asking, have you heard no cap? No, I haven't heard that. Is that like the new version? Never.
Is he talking about Captain D's?
Ooh.
Well, Captain D's gonna come out with their version of the chicken sandwich. It's gonna be a fish sandwich, though.
Yes.
Dude, what's that Captain D's meal? It just comes with everything. It's like 2 stuffed crabs, hush puppies, shrimp, French fries, beer battered
fish. Is it called the Captain's Feast or something like that?
I need to get that in my life soon.
Okay.
It comes with coleslaw too.
Oh, no. Give me hush puppies.
Both.
Give me extra hush puppies. Brian is saying that no cap means no lie.
Oh my God.
And then Brittany says no cap. Oh, I can't do the
I can't.
Is that how that? Did I do that right?
Well, you know what we really need to do? We really need whenever we do that Home Before the Culture show, we need to like find out all the things that we need to know to be cool. Like we need to get For the Culture to educate us on the happenings. What's really happening in the culture?
Yeah, it's just like the Cooligans. The Cooligans are always like 10 steps ahead being in New York. Like,
yeah, that's what I want. I want to learn things.
Oh, it's gonna be like whenever Daryl would trick Michael with
you know what? Maybe that's what we do.
Fake slang.
Maybe we do without like we need to get a meetup, but we need to every week like somebody needs to submit their slang. And see if the other if we can guess what it's really like, just exchange phrases that we've heard between shows.
Oh my God, yeah. That would be pretty great. Yeah.
It means. Maybe that's what we'll do.
We need to do a Home Before the Culture newlywed game type deal.
Yes, exactly.
That's where it needs to.
That's exactly what we need to do.
Yeah,
that sounds great.
Or $1,000 pyramid or whatever, $16,000. It was some weird.
Oh, dude, that's so stupid.
What is that?
It's just
is that a thing?
Yes,
it's definitely not radio friendly or podcast friendly when you do.
What about eating? Would that be better or worse? Chew it up.
What are you eating?
Just chewing it. All right, man. I'm glad we were able to do this. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. However you found us, whether on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, whatever, wherever it is, however you found us, leave us a rating or a review to hear it read aloud on the show. Be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube. Hit that Bill Holcomb icon to get a notification whenever we go live. Love the hell out of you guys. We will see you another time. Can't say next week because I don't know what's happening, but I will plan something at least for the playoff match. Maybe I can drag Mr. Dan James himself out there.
Do it
for the match. We'll
do
see.
We'll
see what we can make work. So thank you guys so much. Love the hell out of you. See you next time. As always, be home before dark.
Bye.